would you say is the most important skill that you need to be successful in college classes? Anybody want to start?
Time management.
Time management.
You need to be on top of your work.
Okay, explain a little more.
Well, when you procrastinate and you get behind, the thing about college work is you can't just like, oh, I'm just going to do it in a couple hours. You think it might take you a couple hours, it's going to take you 5 more. So you get to the end of the week and you haven't done anything, and then you're freaking out because you haven't done anything, you're trying to get everything done, and it just doesn't work. So make a schedule for yourself, plan out what you're going to do, figure out like, okay, this is what I have to do this week, this is what I'm going to do on Monday and Tuesday. It helps so much. It makes all the difference.
All right. Annie?
Probably just like know your own study style, because what works for Lauren might not work for me, because like I work better under pressure. So if like I'm doing something on the weekend, like I have no problem doing that. I don't recommend that for your first college class because it's really not a great way to start. But like if like reading the whole book helps you, then read the whole book. If skimming is fine for you, then just skim. Honestly, just know your own study style.
All right. Christopher?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just time management and rationality. So first of all, you have to manage your time properly, do your homework at correct times, make a schedule, and then as you learn more and more about the class you're taking, you can ebb and flow with your personal taste and how to finish your homework.
All right. Garrett?
Read all the directions.
Yes.
Don't, as you go through college, a lot of what they want to see is that you can be smart, but you're also following what they do. So in the syllabus, they'll tell you to do things like in the class I'm taking now, they're not telling me to read any of the Bible, or I'm taking an Old Testament class, or the Old Testament book that they provided me with. They're just telling me that there's a quiz due this day, and in the syllabus, it tells me that I have to read like 200 pages this week, 100 pages next week, 2 books of the Bible then. So they really want you to be on top of your work and know what you have to do before it's done.
Okay. Garrett made a really good point about following directions, and I'm going to use this little illustration because it came up in the car on the way here. So our Tier 3 kids are in their second college English class, English 123, and I don't know how many of them missed this instruction that said you had to do a journal entry on 2 poems. The class had been used to doing journal entries on just one piece, either a poem or a short story, and so I don't know how much, I think at least half of the class missed that instruction that particular week the journal entry had to be on 2 poems. So they got 50s out of 100. So it's really, really important to read all of the directions. Even if you think you read it, and even if you think you know what it said 3 weeks ago, you still have to read it before you actually submit and click submit and upload that assignment. It's so important to read directions, so important. All right, what's your advice? Most important skill?
Like Chris was saying, knowing what the class requires. Because some classes, for instance, psychology, from my experience, there's no end of course exam. So you move from week to week to week. And I'm not saying that you go through the class and don't read anything and don't learn anything and just do what it takes to get through it. Learn something and interest yourself in it, but also don't read every page for psychology. It's not worth it. There's so many pages for 1 week, and there's bold print all over those pages, and the bold print will help you. The bold print, the PowerPoints, the online busy work activities that they give you will help you help you tremendously in studying for the quizzes. And so I would say that that's one of the big things, is just kind of know what the class requires, and for each class is different. Some classes you need to be reading everything, and some classes you don't. So it just depends on what your professor wants.
And you'll figure that out as you go along. You definitely will.